Welcome to Formula Offroad 2024. It is the Crazy Jeeps from Iceland jumping up the hills, and we are here now in Hella for the first race of the weekend. 30 cars entered this year, and around 5,000 spectators on site this year. There's going to be 6 tracks here today, and the legendary river and the swamp to close out the day in Hella. There were 27 cars in the unlimited class and 3 in the modified class. No street legal class this year, and here we are now in the first track of the day. This is Finnur Bárðarson driving the Rock. He ended the day with 829 points. In third place, this is Haraldur Guðmundsson driving the Bailiff. 1,074 points in second place here in the modified class. Nicely through the river. Oh no, that's not great. Of course, that's not the river, that's the swamp. But managed to catch on fire though. Now here's the iceberg. This is Brynjar Jökull Eliasson, and 1,333 points for the modified car here. It's not the unlimited class, so 1,333 points, pretty impressive. And Brynjar would do a good job just keeping up with the unlimited cars, but the winner in Hella. Now we move over to the unlimited class. This is the Icelandic Championship. The Icelandic champion is crowned from the total highest winning in the season in the unlimited class. Skúli Kristinsson here, the leading champion, the reigning champion, kicked off in track number 1. As there are 27 cars, we won't be able to follow all of them here today, but we will follow the fight for victory. Now, track 1, Skúli here so far got in no penalty points. Simply the car well built, and look at that, goes for it, and that's no penalty points right through the final gate. Drives away, that's going to be 350 points without any penalty points. Now here we have Ingimar Björnsson driving Bomban. To get up the first part. Oh no, rolls it here, up on the flat top there. That is not something you want happening right away in the first track of the season. Now here we have Elvaldur Guðmundsson driving the Bachelor. The Bachelor, a new car, and there's a roll right away in track 1. Now Elvaldur built this car for the season. First 3 tracks, similar result in every one of them. Here's the third track. Similar rolls, every single one, and it's always the front end coming back over, so some modifications needed for the Bachelor. Now Þormar Pálsson, this former Icelandic champion, back on track, driving Thor like he always does. Track 1 gets up to the top there. 40 penalty points for Þormar, who ranks away with 310 points here. Now Bjartur Eliasson driving Olsen through the final gate, drives away. And next up, Jónar Ingilifsson driving the Outlaw, champion in 2010. Loses all the power there. Not sure if it was a driving error or what. Drives again. Probably should have skipped that. That's extra penalty points for reversing. Only 190 points. Next up, Finnur Björnsson driving the Fox. He was impressive when he took over the wheel last year. It was impressive here. The final gate in track 1. So that's a good amount of points. Now Ingvar Jóhannesson driving Víkingurinn. He challenged Skúli in the latter part of last year. 350 points here for Ingvar. Yes, he does, but that's 20 penalty points. So in the fight for the lead. Now, Páll Skjóldal Jónsson, the sheep is red this year. 350 for length, 40 penalty points, so that's 310. Let's look at the standings here after the first track. Skúli Kristjánsson, the only one to go without penalties through, but Ingvar Jóhannesson hot on his heels, along with Bjarnþór, Finnur, Sævar and Þórður Atli, and a few more because the fight was tight in Hella. Now let's follow Þórður. A good run here would get him close to the lead, and that is not what we call a good run. His in that jump, the front axles broke. There's no drive on the front wheels, and somehow he manages to go up that bank though. Now, will he get any further? No, he won't. There's nothing happening there, and that's only going to be 10 points for Þórður. That kind of set the tone for the day. However, he was strong through the day and managed to regain some positions, ending up in the points and finishing 10th in Hella.
Sjáið þið! Þetta ekkert mál! Þetta alveg hægt!
Strong showing here in the swamp. Now let's move over to Ragnar Skúlason. This is Snow White. Snow White, called Snow White because there are 7 owners, the 7 dwarves. Ragnar Skúlason, a multiple champion in the street legal class, and has been team principal for Simba in the last couple of seasons. But, well, there's a reason, I guess. They have another driver in Simba. Nicely done though from Ragnar. Here is Sævar Bennisson driving Móri. Didn't see Sævar in the fight after the first track, but an easy run here. 350 points without any penalty points. Now Pétur Viðarsson driving the Comrade. What a jump here! 300 points for length, 20 penalty points, 280 in total, but that would end the day for him as his back did not like that jump. Aldemar Sveinsson driving the Cowboy has been a fun addition to the whole scene here in Formula Offroad, but this track already has a lot of penalty points here. Now needs to go all the way. It's already probably over 100 penalty points so far. Goes all the way here. 160 penalty points, so that's gonna leave him with 190 points after 2 tracks. Now Skúli Kristjánsson, he went penalty free and all the way through the first track of the day, and does so here as well, but that was a hefty hit as the car kid looks okay. Skúli, full house after 2 tracks. Now Páll Skjóldal, the sheep. Likewise, no penalty points for him, so 350 here. Þór Þormar, 20 penalty points, 330 for Þór. And believe it or not, that is Þór as well. Changing colors between tracks. Now Bjarnþór Eliasson driving Olsen, 350 for him. Tracks in Hella easier than they have been in the last couple of years. Ingvar Jóhannesson, 350, he keeps the pressure on Skúli. Now Finnur Björnsson also had a decent run through the first track. 20 penalty points here, 330. Pressure is kept on the leaders. Skúli Kristjánsson with 700 points, 20 points ahead of Ingvar Jóhannesson. And Bjarnþór Eliasson sitting on 670. Then you have Páll Jónsson on 660 along with Sævar Benónisson and Finnur Björnsson with 650. Now, this is Páll Skjóldal, this is track number 3. Here goes for this deep bank and goes all the way. That's no penalty points, that's just 350 for Páll if he drives away. He needs to get the car running again, and he did and got away. Let me see the jump again. Nicely done for Páll Skjóldal. Now this is Þór Þormar Pálsson. I know the car was red just a few seconds ago, but it is blue and flying right now. 350 for length, 20 penalty points, so that's 330 points for Þormar, who is fighting for the lead here. Bjartur Eliasson, oh, hefty there, needs to reverse. That's 60 penalty points for that. Sorry, 40 penalty points for that. Decides to use all of the length that he's allowed to reverse. Go for it, goes up, clips the final tire, so that's going to give you 20 penalty points as well. So that's going to be 60 penalty points in total. Next up, Finnur Aðalbjörnsson needs a strong run here to fight for the lead, but that is not a strong run by any means. 220 points for Finnur Aðalbjörnsson, and with the high points scoring total, he might be exiting the lead here now. Skúli has gone all the way in all the tracks so far. Oh, it doesn't! He thinks he's landed it there, but that's going to be only 250 points for Skúli Kristjánsson here, and this is Skúli giving away the lead. Is that a broken axle? Just a flat tire? We'll see. I'm pretty sure Skúli just thinks he's got it there. He's expecting the landing, but isn't quite as far as he wants. Now Ingvar Jónsson, he could potentially take the lead here. 350 points for a length, and he did get wheels in sight there, so 40 penalty points for Ingvar. Now Sævar Benónisson doesn't go quite fast enough. That's only 240 points for Móri. We have Guðlaugur Helgason. This is Olsen, not Olsen. It's Bjartur that has been fighting for the lead. 240 points for the length, and he won't go any further. Now let's look at the standings. Skúli Kristjánsson doesn't lead anymore. It is Páll Jónsson, the sheep, in first place, with Ingvar Jónsson second, Þórðar Pálsson third, Bjartur Eliasson fourth, Skúli Kristjánsson fifth, and Sævar Benónisson in sixth. Now lunch break, and then 3 tracks after in the afternoon. This is the time attack before we go into the river and the swamp. It's always the same setup in Hella, and Bjartur Eliasson stuck here. This is going to be so costly for Bjartur. No chance of victory after this. 140 points for the time attack. Hella runs this similar legendary format every year, with the time attack being similar. Now Skúli Kristjánsson needs a very strong showing here after the disaster in the track before. Fast here through the river, and that's the engine. He shouldn't be stopping there. He doesn't go into gear. There's no drive. That is simply done for the time attack, so that's only 75 points for Skúli Kristjánsson. He has lost every chance of victory here. Now Páll Skjóldal, he is leading this race. Now look at the way that the sheep is hopping around. I didn't know sheeps were made for flying, but this one certainly is. But it might not be the fastest way around though. Let's see what Páll Skjóldal does here. 38.8 seconds. That's going to give him 328 points. Now, Þormar Pálsson. This car does not lack power. That is for sure. It almost looks slower than the sheep, but it's probably faster because it's much more stable. So Þormar here for the final push through the final gate. 37.2. 344 points. Now, Ingvar Jónsson, he was fastest here last year. The Viking. Look at the the way the car is tracking, the suspension is doing fantastic things for Ingvar here, and he is driving fastest of them all, just like last year, but it got up with 10 penalty points there for clipping a gate. Now let's look at the standings after four normal tracks. Now we go into the river and the swamp, and there's only 8 points between the first two, with Thormar lying there close as well. It's all to play for in the river. This legendary track starts with a straight crossing. We have Finnur Albjörnsson. Then there is a short turnaround on the grass, and remember, this is all a time attack, so you need to be quick through it all. Now, then they come back around and they need to float over the river the whole way. Look at this, a bit of loss of speed there. He misses the gate, needs to reverse, and there's nothing spinning there on the front wheel. Finnur clips the final tire. He's done 41.7 seconds, so that's 264 points. That's costly for Finnur. So close. Now, Ingvar Jóhannesson, fastest in the first time attack. Will he be fastest here again? In the time attack, the faster cars get 350 points. Ingvar is looking very fast here, but it's getting wobbly. The speed is going down, but will he manage to cross it all the way? Yes, it does, through the gate. That's not the fastest time of the day, but it's 340 points nonetheless, so that's the pressure on. Here we have Móri slammed roughly into the water there, so a bit slow, but manages to, well, gather speed through the river to get all the way over. But not a great time for Móri, 258 points. Now Gunnur S. Helgason is driving Olsen. Loses a bit of time there when he's coming out of the first crossing. His first race in 2004 when he was 17 here in Etla. Fast in the river though, this is nicely done. Claws back some of the lost time from the first part, but a 39.7 gives him 295 points. Now, Páll Skjolda leading this race. Can sheep swim? Let's see. Well, struggling here a little bit on the grass, lost a bit of time there, but can still get a decent time here, but he's really cautious here on the grass. Now into the water he goes. Look at that wobbling. You can see the front tires are just slamming here, but he's still clawing through. Will he sink? Will it sink? Yes, it does. This is costly, but it's still close to the end. So only 255 points for Páll Skjolda. He's probably losing the lead here. That's another way of going through the river. Here we have Þormar Pálsson. This car does not lack power. And for us to not lose him in the water, he's not blue anymore. Þormar here in the river. Look at that speed. This is insane. Wow, Þormar Pálsson and the big jump. Ooh. Gets thrown there over the end, but not the fastest time of the day. But that speed, insane. Now Skúli Kristjánsson clawing his way back into the race. So fast here through the water, there's no wobbling. He's screaming and shaking his fist to the crowd as he puts the fastest time in, ending up on the roof. 350 points for Skúli Kristjánsson here in the river, and he loves it. Skúli ended up this race in ninth place, But now Ingvar Jónesson has taken the lead. Þór Þormar Pálsson in second and Páll falls down to third. Guðlaugur Helgason in fourth and Sævar Benónisson in fifth. Now, the swamp. A test of durability, vision, essentially, and so many other things. The legend says that it's not until a year later that the cars are finally clean after this. More heading up here. The swamp sometimes seems to get better as more cars drive, and sometimes it gets worse. But this is a track where everything gets so hot. All the axles, all the differentials, all the gearboxes. And here, only 120 points for Sævar. So he's not going to be moving up the list here in the final track. Now, Ingimar Björnsson, this is Bomban. And he has already finished the first part. He's coming back here. And it's happening fast. And look at that. The car's almost not dirty because it's been floating over the whole time. 350 for lane 20 penalty points. That's very impressive in the swamp. Now, Ingvar Jónesson. He was leading before this track, so a strong point score here will secure him the win. 330 points. And he knows he has won in Hella. No penalties so far, and the pace is fantastic. Can he keep it up all the way? Is Ingvar Jónesson winning Hella? Yes, he is. The Viking wins.
Gekk vel í dag og náðum, mér skilst að við náðum hérna fyrsta sætinu.
Já, til hamingju með sigurinn. Þú hefur náð þriðja sæti hérna áður. Þú byrjar að keppa 2019. Hvað getur þú sagt okkur, hvernig verður maður svona góður?
Það mjög erfið spurning í rauninni. Það bara, bíllinn reyndar mjög góður og bilar lítið og svo bara æfa sig aðeins og pæla mikið. Þá gerast góður hlutir, sko.
Það byrjaði svona aðeins að bera á þér í fyrra sem yfir burðarökumanni, en núna ætlar að taka árið á yfirburðum alla leið.
Já, það ekkert annað í boði. Ef maður endar í öðru sæti í fyrra þá verður maður náttúrulega stefna þess herra en það. Og það bara eitt sæti.
Nicely done there from the Viking. Now Páll Skjóldal Jónsson, he's in third place before this track. He needs a good run here to try and snatch second place away from Þór. So far this is pretty clean, but that was probably some penalty points there. I'm not quite sure. A good run here. Could see him snatch second place away from Þór. He's at least putting the pressure on here, but is he getting stuck there? Finds a bit of traction. And gets out of the first part. Now needs to float it all the way to the end. A clean run here. We'll see him go very close to Þór Þormar, and that seems to be what he's doing. 350 points for lane, only 20 penalty points, so this is all the pressure on Þór Þormar. I have no idea which body is on the car right now because it's brown, but Þór Þormar has managed to get to the final part of the swamp. If he goes all the way, then he is secured. Is he stopping here? Is it over? He is pushing through. Will he get through the foul gate? Yes, he does. Þór Þormar clinches second place in Hella ahead of Páll Jónsson, but it's Ingvar Jónesson that's victorious. Guðlaugur Helgason in fourth, Finnur Björnsson in fifth, and Ingimar Björnsson sitting in sixth place. Fantastic race from Ingvar in Hella and a fantastic show all in all. Until next time in Formula Offroad, bye bye.